Hello everybody, we can see clearly now the rain is gone and hopefully stays gone on Friday night through the middle of December. I'm Josh Walfish alongside Foster Lander. Welcome into the Week 8 pregame report here at the Telegram Football Insiders in Foster. We'll start with 1A conference football starting up again. Tarboro, definitely the favorites in the Two Rivers. But who do you think is the second best team, or maybe the most likely to challenge the Vikings?
If you look at what happened last year, Williamson-Riverside, they gave Tarboro a pretty good game. I think it was a 35-20 final late in the year versus North Edgecombe. It was all Tarboro, 48-0 at the end of the season. So if you look at it that way, I would have to say Riverside. But as long as North Edgecombe has Antoine Pittman, you got to give them a chance at least. Definitely,
the Warriors, a strong team, starting to maybe hit their stride a little bit. We'll see more of how they handle a 3-day layoff. Beat Kip Pride on Tuesday night. They're coming back tonight against Rocky Mount Prep, so we'll see how that affects them. Moving on to 2A, you haven't really seen too much of Southwest Edgecombe, but they're the only undefeated team in the Twin Counties. We've talked off camera about their chances of going undefeated, but when you look at Washington struggling, you look at Farmville Central struggling, is there a team in the Eastern Plains that can potentially upset the Cougars?
At this point, I don't see it. We wrote in tomorrow's paper that if anybody, maybe it's Beddingfield. Wilson Beddingfield has played a lot of the Big East powers. They gave Southern Nash trouble. They gave Fike trouble. They gave Hunt trouble. So based on head-to-head results this year and the way Beddingfield can spread you out, they got some good athletes on the perimeter that maybe they can give Southwest a good game.
Definitely, if the Bruins can stay healthy, that is going to be a difficult game at the end of the season for Southwest Edgecombe. But we've moved on now to the main event, the Big East, the four-way race for the top. Both you and I have kind of talked about how we think Rocky Mount is probably going to maybe be the team that ends up at the top there. But let's go a little bit contrarian for these people. What's going to prevent Rocky Mount High from winning the Big East?
It could be one of a lot of things. I mean, their defense has been kind of a little off and on this year. They've run the ball well, but they really haven't found anybody that can force turnovers like Roderick Connell did for them last year. And also, the Big East is just wide open. They could get beat by Southern Nash, could get beat by Fike or Hunt, or one of those three teams.
Definitely, and we will get an early sense on how this Big East race is going to go on. The biggest game in our area tomorrow night, Wilson Fike hosting Southern Nash. The Firebirds needing a big victory. I'm gonna ask you your pick in this game. Actually, do the Firebirds stand a chance going to Wilson?
I do think so. They're starting to get a little bit healthy. They were banged up. Dawan Wilkins had a shoulder injury. Jaquay Mitchell a little banged up with the knee. Both of those guys will be back this week. As long as they can protect Zach Foster a little bit, and as long as they can run the football, Jaquay Mitchell had a really big game against Fike last season. If they can do those two things, they'll have a good shot.
Southern Nash and Wilson Fike have alternated victories since 2010. The Firebirds won last year, a little bit of a mild upset at home. But for Foster Lander, I'm Josh Walfish. Tune back in Saturday morning where we'll recap the entirety of our first week of conference play.